These are the brand new 2021 Bigwig and Bigal from Ragley. I'm super grateful for Ragley for sending these in ahead of release date so I could get some video filmed and some time on these bikes before they're released so I can share my opinions with you. Last year, one of the bikes that surprised me the most was the Ragley Mbop. That thing was really, really good. Super fun, and that aluminum frame felt fantastic. So Ragley sent me these two frames to say, I'd like to see you do a back-to-back. How does the steel versus aluminum of the same exact geometry feel? And I'm excited to try that because I've been curious. I've only ridden Ragley's aluminum bikes, and they felt awesome, but they have the reputation for having some amazing steel bikes as well. So the geo is 100% identical between these, which is super fun. In fact, every bike in Ragley's line has an aluminum counterpart and a steel one. They just have different names. So you have to look at the geo charts to compare them. So I'm going to be building up the Bigal first, putting all my parts on it, and then I'm going to do a ride review and then put all the parts on the Bigwig, same exact parts, and then go ride that and do a ride review within the same week and not ride any other bikes in between so that these are fresh on my mind and share my thoughts with you with the differences between the two. So taking a close look at these, like most aluminum bikes, the tubing is bigger. The Bigal has internal routing for the dropper. Everything else is external, whereas the Bigwig is fully external and then it pops into the seat tube. The bridge looks slightly different. This still uses the finger bridge and this uses something that looks similar to it. Even the seat tube height, little gusset, all that looks pretty similar. The gussets, this doesn't have a gusset like the steel one does. And the color, I mean, the tubing's smaller on a steel bike like it normally is. And one difference, this has flattened seat stays. It looks a lot like the new Konas, like the Hanzo ESD and the ST. And I'm curious and excited to see if that makes for a more compliant ride. Ragley's been doing hardtails for a long time, and that's all they do are hardtails. And they have a reputation for riding really comfortable, and so I'm super excited to compare these. I can't imagine the steel riding much better than the aluminum bike that I rode, but it might. I'm pretty excited to try this. Both of these are size medium. The Bigwig, the steel one, came in at 6.68 pounds. And the Bigal came in at 4.95 pounds. That's 1.7 pounds lighter. That's significant when it's just a frame. Now, a lot of people love the look of steel and they love the ride quality of steel. And if it rides better, to me, that's worth £1.50. But if it doesn't, man, I'm going aluminum all the way. It kind of looks orange and copper on video, but this is a candy apple red. It's beautiful. All right, it's time to take the Bigwig away and build up the Bigal. All right, we're gonna be running my favorite dropper, the Fall Line R. So I've already scratched the clear coat trying to get the routing done, and this is frustrating. The plugs don't easily pop out, and so actually getting the routing stuff in there is really tricky. There, and I just broke it. It's probably not supposed to come out. It's probably just supposed to route right through there, but there's no tube in there. Not a big fan of how these are routed. Even my fishing tool doesn't work well through these. Man. It's doable when you pull the plug, but I don't know how you're supposed to do it with the plug in there. We're running 9.8 stout stem and a whiskey carbon bar. I like that bar. Using the Hunt Enduro wides on this with the Terravale Kessel tires. This isn't my favorite rear tire, but I've got them on the wheels and I think it looks great on this and it'll work just fine. It's pretty much a DHF clone. So I'm running a 2.4 in the back with Tannis inserts and I'm running a 2.6 in the front. Jury's still out on the Tannis inserts. I think I prefer the feel of Cushcore, but these are nice and light. and I'm just running the insert in the rear. Good looking bike. All right, got the build all done. This is a stunning bike. I'm not a big red guy, but man, this candy apple red really pops and it looks really good. I don't feel like the paint is quite as durable as I've seen on other bikes. I've scratched this up just building it, and I mean, that's obviously my fault, but I didn't do anything crazy. It didn't take a whole lot to scratch it. Some interesting things going on here. Plenty of tire clearance. These 2.4s have a ton of clearance. You could easily fit 2.5s. I'm guessing 2.6s are not going to be a problem. Water bottle mount here. Only got a single water bottle mount. The cable routing's a little bit weird. The derailleur, you know, they're always on the right side and they have to end up on the left side to cross over, and I don't know, the cable routing just, there's a big loop up here. I'm not crazy about that. Other than that, it went together really well. The internal routing was kind of a pain, and these feel kind of cheap. Now, Ragleys have a really great price point, so you're not going to see, you know, some of the stuff that you see on a Yeti, like the tube and frame internal routing. Basically, this is a hole. You got to fish for it, pop it back out, and run it through the plastic thing. Not a big deal as long as it doesn't rattle in there. And that's one of my biggest complaints about internal routing, is when it rattles. I'm running a 130 helm on this. I've got a 140 I might swap on. This bike was designed around a 140, but honestly, a centimeter of extra travel and 25% of that's going to be at sag is pretty close to this, not a huge difference. And you know I love my bikes at 130 anyway, so I'm going to try like this, see how it does. It will be slightly slacker with a 140, not a huge difference. So the geo numbers haven't changed, it's just a new color for this year. We've got a 65-degree head angle, right where I like it. 74-degree seat tube angle, which is a little slacker than some I've ridden, but it's got a 440 reach on the size medium, so I'm actually glad it's not super steep. I think this might be a great balance here. And we have a 435 chainstay. I'm a big proponent of having a longer reach than the chainstay. So we've got a 440 reach, 435 chainstay, should feel pretty balanced. When it's off and it's like a 430 reach with a 450 chainstay, it feels really weird. And that's a whole nother video topic for another day. But I'm really excited. This came in under 30 pounds, 29.7 pounds. That's pretty awesome for heavy wheels, heavy tires, heavy fork. I think I could get this sub 27 in a super light build. And I like that this isn't a super radical bike. I've been getting a lot of those, and they're only fun on like 10% of the trails. I feel like this has the potential to be a really good all-rounder. I can't wait to throw a leg over this, get this out on the trail, and see what the aluminum ride's like, and then swap all these parts back over to the steel and compare them for you. If you need bike advice and need help deciding which bike to get, especially if it's a hardtail, consider becoming a patron. I have a consultation service on there, and a lot of people have saved a lot of money by using that consultation service. If you don't need that, keep watching my videos. I've got free reviews for anybody who wants to learn more about hardtails. Thanks for watching. There's a party in the mountains, and you're invited.